I have the SmaAcc. I probably am not pronouncing that company name right, but anyway, they're a vertical stand with dual cooling fans and dual charging ports for PlayStation 4. Its model is SMA009. It's a budget cooling stand. It's a budget cooling stand for your PlayStation, and it also acts as a dual charger. It is basically 3-in-1 product because not only does it act as a vertical stand for people that like to have their PlayStation standing up vertically, because the PlayStation 2, if I remember rightly, came with a basic stand. The PlayStation 4 does not. Or was it the PlayStation 3 it did? Anyway, one of the previous generations had a stand, and this one doesn't. So it's a stand to stand your PlayStation vertically if that's what you like. Plus, it does much more than that. In fact, it does 3 other things besides being a stand. It adds a couple of extra ports because, yes, it takes up one port itself on your PlayStation, but you still have one port free on the PlayStation plus 3 ports here, a USB port and 2 hub ports. So it adds basically an additional 2 ports because it takes up one, so you can't count that. So it adds 2 additional USB ports, plus you can charge up to 2 DualShock 4 controllers simultaneously. So it also, you can put one here and you can put one behind it. I've only got one, but if you put one behind it, you can charge them both at the same time. It won't just charge one then charge the other. It will charge them both at the same time to save time. Also, even if you don't really care about the charging of it, it still acts as a place, a nice, convenient, discreet place to tuck your controllers away instead of leaving them out on a side, like on a table or something like that. They both tuck neatly beside your PlayStation while you're not using it. I think it's really convenient. So, and it has 2 fans underneath the PlayStation. You can't see it at the moment because the PlayStation is sat there to demonstrate. But underneath the PlayStation, there is 2 cooling fans to keep your PlayStation from overheating. Especially since I've heard that the PlayStation 4, unlike the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 4 gets hotter when it's vertical than it does when it's flat horizontally. So that's why a lot of people haven't been using the PlayStation vertically, because it gets hotter. So now you can use your PlayStation vertically while making sure the temperature levels stay down as much as possible and it won't overheat. So it's a USB hub, vertical stand, dual controller charger, and cooler for your PlayStation 4 all in one and in one convenient place. And what about power in it? Do you have to have a big mains power cable coming out the back and plugging into your mains wall? No, it has this one short cable, USB cable, that comes from the bottom of the stand and discreetly goes into one of the front USB ports on your PlayStation. So you don't have to have a big long cable to plug in and mains power cable and take up a mains power. It has a very, very short, so it doesn't get tangled, it isn't long and inconvenient. A little short cable that goes into your PlayStation. Then you still have one port free on your PlayStation at the front. Then you have the 2 hubs and one USB port down here on it itself. So it uses up one port on the actual machine, but then it gives you that back, plus 2 more on here. Then there's an on and off button there as well. And it's at a budget price because you can get many of these stands for a lot of money, like maybe even £50, whatever. It costs $9.99 in the UK, so it's a £10 stand, yet you can charge 2 controllers at the same time. It has 2 fans to keep your vertically aligned console cool, and it has 3 USBs on it as well. And it doesn't have a long cable to plug into the mains power. It discreetly plugs in via a short cable into your actual machine. So it is really, really good. It's better than I expected, especially for the price. Can you get better ones? Oh, I'm sure you can, even though I haven't used them. I'm sure there's some really fancy ones with even more bells and whistles. But this does exactly what it says on the tin, basically. It does what it's advertised for, and at an affordable price. So for the price, this is a really, really good vertical stand because it's a vertical stand, fan cooler, USB hub, dual controller charger, and also a convenient place to store your controllers, all in one for £10. I really, really do recommend it. I really like it, and I'll be using this from now on. Whenever I'm on the PlayStation 4, I'll be using it in this stand, and then when I've finished, I will put the controller in there. The fans are also not too loud as well. They're not very loud fans. And what about putting these controllers in? Are they a bit of a struggle? No, they're not. Let me just show you. You take it out. There you go. Now that, bear in mind, I had to reach around and push it down a bit, but that's because I'm actually behind a camera and tripod reaching around, and yet I could still do it relatively easily, which is quite good considering there's a USB port on the bottom here, and then there's a micro USB, actually a little connector sticking up like that, and you have to align them like that. And I thought maybe because you'd have to align them, you'd have to play around and try to align the ports up. But you don't. It's really quick. You just put it down. There you go. You're good to go. It's really quick. It connects so well. They've really got it lined up properly, so you don't have to wiggle it around. You don't have to play around trying to get the port on the controller and the connector on the actual hub aligned. You just put it down, and it's really quick and easy. There's no shoving. I had to push it down a bit because I'm reaching behind the camera. I didn't get it right. Wasn't doing it properly. But normally, if I was just doing this in general, normal, then this would actually be even easier. And it was easy from behind a tripod. So if it's easy from behind the tripod, you can imagine how easy it is in normal everyday use. And it is. I've tried it both ways, of course. And it is really quick and easy and convenient to put in. I thought it might be a bit harder to put the controllers in. I thought you might have to, like I say, adjust it. Maybe I didn't think you'd be able to just put it down in the controller. I thought it might not line up properly with the little connector that sticks up. I thought it might be a little bit awkward, to get it sat down like that, especially since it's the way it's upside down like that. But actually, you just pick it up, you have it, turn it upside down, pop it down, and it goes straight on the connector and works seamlessly. It works straight away. First go, there's no alignment issue, no playing around. It just works. By the way, you have to excuse the background and the windowsill and the wall there. Normally I'd have just a white background, but because this is a bigger, quite tall product here, quite a tall PlayStation, I'm having to show a bit more wall than I normally would. But never mind. Okay, I'm hoping you can see this well enough. I can't tell how well you can see this because I'm behind a camera, and the little camera, the little display on the back of the camera, is really hard to see. Things look like they're not in focus or they're too small, and then when I edit it on a big screen you can see it, so hopefully you can see it even though I can't. Here you have two fans, then a small USB cable to plug in, then down here is the holder bits, there's the cutouts here for the controllers. Then there's these little, hopefully it shows up on camera, little USBs that stick out, and there's no problem with an alignment. Also, it's got a nice shape here, nice sort of arrow shape. It looks very flashy. Yes, it's basic plastic, things like that. It's not anything too flashy, it's not metal, it's all made of plastic. But it is very nice, good product for the price. So yeah, it works really well. It charges two controllers at the same time, has fans to keep your console cool. It has extra USB ports as well, and it's powered by USB on the console, no extra cable, so I really recommend it for the price. It's only £10 and it will keep your console cool, and it saves space by having a convenient place to store your controllers. Really recommend it. A link will be in the description. Please like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you could do me a huge favour, and if you're watching this on the Amazon product page, please hit the yes button next to was this review helpful or not. That will be helpful to me too. Thanks for watching.